Was for me for a little while, because
Okay, I call the March 19th Selectmen's meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. Please stand and join in. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Any public input? Okay, then the first thing we'll do is reorganize the board for the coming year.
I'll nominate Rich to be chair again this year.
okay. If you want.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll nominate Ed to be vice chair.
Yes. Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
As far as our support function with the various
Yeah.
committees and teams within the town, I'd like to suggest that you were on the trust fund.
Trust, yeah.
You haven't been on the trust fund yet.
No, I have not.
I suggest that he
It's,
pick
it's,
up.
yes, it's interesting.
Pick up the trust fund. They meet quarterly. They think about how they manage our trust money.
Yep, I'm interested.
So get some exposure to that one. The rest of them will leave alone.
Yeah.
The rest of them leave alone.
Yep.
Okay, that's what we'll do then. Home-based businesses. I just want to review something with the board. If someone is running a home-based business and it's entirely within the home and there's nothing visible on the outside, we don't care what that business is, as long as it's law-abiding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I...
That was our intent. If it's internal and there's no exterior impact and it's legal, we're okay with it.
Right.
Okay, that was my take also. I just want to make sure that we all agreed on that.
Agreed.
Property insurance. You want to talk property insurance
I
to us?
did a quick little list for you, and it's rough, but this tells you what Primex has for us right now, and I've kind of talked with Brian a little bit, but, so the thing I was struggling was with some of those, the garage storage, the sand salt shed. Does that all look right to you, or do you want to adjust anything? I don't know about forestry truck too. I did take that off. The forestry truck I took off only because Brian said if it wasn't registered and we couldn't register it, right? I mean, it's falling apart. So should we take it off completely? I'll leave it on there.
Still there.
And there was also, I'm sorry, I forgot to put on there the trailer that has the EMS.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Let's go from the top.
All right.
267 Worthworth, the garage. That must be,
That's because you should be some of the, this little, you know, the little, like, yeah.
Not with the sand and salt, the other one.
Yeah, yeah.
The one that you talked about putting a different door in.
Oh, no.
No.
see, all right, that's what I'm trying to differentiate. You got garage and you have garage
This
storage.
is the way it is on Primex. I took it right on the Primex.
Okay, so I'm confused on 5 and 7, right?
Yeah.
One is the one is where we used to keep the fire truck. That's fallen down.
Right, that's.
That's the one we plan to tear down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the contest is like.
So we want to take down the garage. That's
number 5.
Is it that one? Is that, but it has a content value of 41,000. Is that the,
we're working on it.
okay.
We're working on it.
I'd like to probably, you know, say scrap it.
And let's change the description to make sure we're clear from now on.
Okay, what do you want it to say? Which,
That's what we're working on.
okay.
What are we gonna call that?
Oh, it's a salt box design, if you want to call it a salt box.
Should we just scratch it?
All right?
Should we wait until we tear it down before we scratch it?
It's not worth anything.
So that one, for 71,500, scrap it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing valuable in there. There's not $40,000 worth of anything in there.
No, this doesn't include any liability, right?
No.
This is
Well,
just
it's a-
property.
Yeah, I don't know how that works with the light.
No, it's just the rebuilding cost.
Okay.
So the only potential may be that quarter-ton trailer. Is that in this one, or is it in the others, the one right behind us?
It's in this one.
Okay. But that could be moved too, the one right behind us, right? If we keep it.
I've never seen it.
What is it used for?
It's forestry.
The idea, I think, was that it could haul around a tank of water. I think was the intent.
No.
No?
It's just tools and the pump and the hose.
Oh, okay.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
So it's not very valuable.
Yeah, maybe 10,000, maybe 2,000.
Yeah. So we gotta, as long as we have it, we have someplace, we have to have someplace to shelter it.
If there's anything of value in that shed, just move it in the other building.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to get the shed off the insurance.
Yeah.
And get rid of it.
All right, so let's do that. And then that puts contents in the other building. Unless we have to specify it as a vehicle or a trailer or whatever.
No.
We'll just make it contents.
Right, can we do that?
Yeah.
So we take it off number 5, right? Description of that?
Yes.
Line 5 is going away.
Okay.
Now this is the garage now. Now we only have one garage.
Right.
Contents 70,000, 66,000. I don't know what's in there.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing in there. The forestry truck is in there, and
It's worthless.
yeah,
Well, junk.
yeah. There's nothing else in there. There's the old crack sealing machine, which is worthless. I don't even think it works. It may work, but it sat outside for a long time. So
Let's take 10,000 in case we're overlooking something, all right?
Yeah.
So leave it at 74.9 and contents 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going to the salt sand shed.
Yeah.
It's down for 80,000. It was 35,000 to put up 12, 14 years ago.
there's probably 150,000 to put up now.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Really?
All right, it might even be more than that. It's, you know,
It's crazy.
the thing to look at, well, what I would look at is not only the value of the building that you need to rebuild, but cleaning up the mess if something happens. That needs to be covered too. Usually, at least that's what I've been told, is it's not just the rebuilding, it's the cleanup also that needs to be covered.
Yeah. The debris would it's just another cost. So that is the replacement cost. So it's probably maybe 150.
What kind of shape is on there? It's in good shape still, right? It's not, I don't see sides bowing on it yet.
Well, they're bowing a little.
They're bowing. I think in the next few years you're going to have to do a little repair work there. There's one edge of the entrance into where the sand is knocked loose. Somebody hit it. some of the boards are starting to show like, I don't know, it's a fungus or something growing on it, so they're probably getting a little rotten. So I would say that there's probably some maintenance to be done in the next 5 years. I think also the roof, it has plastic, clear plastic panels for light.
Yeah.
Those don't have a typically long lifespan, they could fail. So there's a few things to do for maintenance there, but none of it I think is terribly expensive.
Okay, so we're gonna, I think we said 150 for the total on that line.
Yeah.
Townhouse, this is interesting.
Townhouse, schoolhouse.
Townhouse, schoolhouse.
550 to replace. That's
Light, you think it's, I think it's,
a good.
I think it's light, I think it's closer to, if you wanted to replace that with the same look, I bet it's gonna cost you $1 million.
Yep.
Why would we do that though?
Why
Or
would we-
would we do that?
I don't know, it's a different decision. This
Right.
is just the insurance for it.
I understand. I mean, we can take the 556 and put up something that would house, that wouldn't be architecturally the same as that for this money. But you're right, if you're going to replace that so that it's a similar design and architect, then that was more than $1.5 million. Oh,
There's an argument against replacing it because all you're doing then is creating a post and beam contemporary building. What's valuable in that house is the heritage and its age and the interior decorative features, if you want to call it that. But in museums, very often, there's a lot of museums that don't have any insurance on any of their collection because the value is on the provenance of who owned it and perhaps its singularity. It can't be replaced.
Okay.
That building can't be replaced.
So
That's just my opinion. I mean, the Heritage Commission might
I
feel
think
differently.
what you're doing is you're explaining my sentiment a hell of a lot better than I did. But that was my thought process. You can't.
But
replace
it would be over $1 million to replace that.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And you still would have a new building.
You'd have a new building that would look new.
The only thing I would question is, and I ran into this problem, maybe it doesn't apply to buildings, but if you don't have it insured for enough, when you go to collect, they treat it as insurance fraud.
Yeah, the core insurance. So yeah, because if it's not going to be enough, then they will penalize you.
So then the question is, if we're gonna, if we'd have to put up another town hall, how much would that cost?
I would think we could be able to do it for the 550 instead.
Well, let's think about people who built houses recently and how much houses cost.
Could we the assessor, could he do a scope of this building, and this building?
He actually should be part of the assessment process.
Because
He's publicly owned.
we're just building,
We are having a town redone this year. You want to wait and decide on that? I don't think we can.
What do you think?
I'm supposed to complete that, up for renewal now.
Can't we?
We could always
a month-
adjust it.
Yeah, a month from now, we can say, let's make it $1 million, or cut it to 250.
When we do that, we'll have to put it on the agenda, to remind ourselves.
Yes, Mark?
Are these buildings assessed anyways?
Yes, they're on the card right now. That's right, exactly right, they're on the card.
Okay.
If we look the card up, we'll see what their current assessment is.
But they're going to be reassessed.
But
Yeah.
it's at 63% of fair market value.
Mhm.
That's for the town state, so we get adjusted.
Well, we need one to be replacement value, Judy,
We,
no?
I would think we'd want a new town hall. And You pick a price. I think 500 is so light compared to what we can ask. I'll ask the building inspector. He's got a handle on that. I know last number he gave me was like $200 a square foot. That's what the going rate is. So I get a number. Can we wait until Friday?
Yeah, oh, sure.
All right. All right, next one is the office building, 400,000, maybe?
Well, plus the contents, so it's 500,000, but
Yeah, but
unless you're looking at just the building, but if you lose the building, you're gonna lose the contents.
And we'd have to replace the content, right?
Yeah, the contents is pretty light, don't you think?
yeah.
In this building?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
And 100,000 is the replacement value inside, in
You'd
between.
be surprised.
Contents.
You'd be surprised. You want carpeting? You want computers? You want refrigerator? You want, you know? You'd be surprised. Well, yes, I'll get a number on that too.
That's what I'm saying, is we're really,
Well, yes, Kim. And then the forestry truck, I think we should scratch. Pipe Brook Bridge,
Yeah.
Bridge.
well,
Pipe Brook,
you know,
Clark Road.
oh, okay.
Clark Road, up by.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That way. I don't think you can get a bridge for $150,000. $500,000.
Easily.
Yeah, at least, but why is it only that bridge? The other one's not insurable?
Because what we can't insure is on the red list.
Yeah, if it's on a red list, we can't.
It's the one on Clark Road is Pike Brook.
Is that the only two bridges we have?
We have two bridges.
There are three.
What's the third one?
Footbridge.
Sanborn Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Footbridge.
Do you want that listed?
No.
No?
So what's the number for a bridge? This is to replace it, it gets washed out, I guess, in a bad storm.
Anybody's guess, really, but it's a minimum of 500, I would think.
Minimum is right.
All right, so let's put that in there.
I need a picture of that, if anybody wants to take it and email it to me. Picture of the bridge.
Okay.
Price it, okay.
Yeah, probably a couple of shots maybe of it. I'm supposed to email it to them. Okay? So we're gonna wait on the townhouse.
Yeah, I thought we did that.
Yeah, we did.
All right, I'll just do it.
Didn't change.
Okay, but, okay.
Chris, you had your hand up?
Yeah, the total assessment on the buildings, all the buildings on this property, is $655,000.
And that is 63% of fair market value.
Yeah.
So divide that by 0.63 and see what you get.
Great.
Greg, I see you.
So the discussion about the 550 next door, that was for the schoolhouse and the townhouse?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
That's a lot.
no, they're listed separately. This building and that building are separate.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
when we were talking about the 550,000, I thought we were just talking about replacing the townhouse.
No, it was.
That includes the schoolhouse.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. So that's a little over $1 million, $1,039,000. $1,039,000.
That would cover those two and the shed behind us. And actually.
It just says buildings, so I'm assuming everything, all the structures on this property.
Yeah, because the assessment card wouldn't show the content. It's just the building.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Just
Yeah, it's like,
so, I don't know. I think we've got to get some
We're
of
almost
those.
there between the two.
No, you might be
Yeah,
right.
right.
That includes the salt shed, too.
yeah. Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Then that's really like,
Yep. Includes the salt
We're
shed.
there with the numbers that we just threw out. You got 556 on the townhouse and school, 400 on the office building, that's 960, and 150 in the sand salt shed. That's $1,000,001. Plus another 75 in the garage, so the numbers are in the ballpark. Maybe the distribution can be rearranged.
a fire, a tornado, it's a million? No.
It's, the difference in premium for the coverage is not gonna be that significant. I mean, we're really beating this one. I mean, if we made it, if we just made it 1.5, 1.6,
Yeah.
we'd be covering ourselves as opposed to.
Okay, but I think we need to break it down. I agree with the number you're coming up with, but we need to break it down. If you only lose that one, that's what the insurance company's gonna reimburse us for. Not for all of it.
Try to put some numbers down. I mean, we just, I mean, we're,
We're only gonna deal with the 4, right? Those 4.
we're just looking at buildings, right?
Yeah, so 1 million, and then just, you
1 million, 1 million for next door,
know,
1 million?
5 for this.
Which one? This building?
This building.
Okay.
And the garage we said was 80, that was fine.
Yeah, 150 on the salt shed.
Yep.
Okay, and what about the contents on the townhouse and the office?
it'll go up because.
Because of the.
Yes.
Okay.
Will they use a formula?
Okay,
All right?
yeah, thank you.
So we have to put in the maintenance plan some funding for the salt shed. And Leah, you wanted to talk about door signs.
Yes, and I didn't give myself a copy of everything that I gave you, but it's okay. So I printed out a couple, thank you, Brian, options for some door signs because as I sat in my office and noticed people coming in the door, they just kind of wander around, like people that haven't lived here for a while. Look around, don't know which office to go to for what things. So I looked up just some basic door signs. There's the ones that most offices use that would be just a little plaque like Joanne has on her desk kind of thing. Although they would come with a bracket to go up above the door, on the wall, or wherever we would want them. The price on those is $19 each. And this other one that I had in front that says the cafeteria or whatever on it, those are acrylic things that magnetize together, so we can change what it says in the sign without having to order something new or whatever. So if offices get swapped around, we would just print out, okay, well now this is this person's office and that's that person's office, just to kind of help direct people when they come in.
So how are we going to deal with sharing an office?
We would just put
Through
2 or 3 things on there. Yeah. That's all. I wouldn't think you'd need more than 3 or 4
Well,
of them.
you got 3 there. You've got about 5 in that office already.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking, I wasn't thinking of listing every person in the
Yeah,
different
like-
office, just assessor, clerk, and
Yeah, like tax
planning board.
collector and.
Right.
And timber monitor and code enforcement and,
It would get lengthy, but
I mean, so we're going to have, people come in to see them, code enforcement.
I would just, I would say, code enforcement could be that, it's,
And assessing.
yeah.
I think.
oh, the other thing about the acrylic ones that magnet together, they come in different sizes. So if you didn't like the longer, skinnier one like here, they do have square ones and
Where would you get them?
from this website probably.
So if you
Just
got one,
place to go. So the prices range from roughly $12 to $19, I think it was.
The acrylic ones, do they hang or do they, how would you mount those?
They come with brackets to go up either on the wall or above the door or wherever. They're the kind that would kind of stick out from the wall though.
So we're actually talking about 4 of these, right? Essentially 1 in each of the doors.
Yeah, or,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really need one above the kitchen unless you want to say restroom this way or whatever, that would be up to you.
So what, I was gonna suggest get one, try it, see if you like it. Unless-
Okay.
If you were on Amazon, you could return it, right?
Right. I can see if I can get them somewhere else.
And then if you don't like it, or we don't like it, it's not what we expected, we flip it and get something else.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's a good idea, I think.
Yeah.
Although that one could, I don't know. But, yeah,
There's that.
yeah, but that's the one I want,
The more typical one.
but, yeah.
Then it would be harder to fit tax collector and planning
Yeah,
board.
we'll do like two.
Just a copy back.
Okay, so we're gonna try something.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we authorize, Leah to get one of the, signs. And I don't care which one, I don't think it matters. And we'll try and see where we go from there. So I'll make that a motion and authorize Leah to do that.
Okay.
I'll second it, okay. Everybody follows that.
Thank you, sir.
We've got some warrants here for the timber monitor. We've got all right, let's amend the February 20th meeting minutes. So I want to make a motion that we amend the February 20th, 24 meeting minutes to change the wording from the Heritage Trust Fund account to the Heritage Fund, right there, the Heritage Fund.
Oh, okay.
And further clarify that we need a voting booth for 100 registered voters for national elections.
Okay. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The Heritage Commission has 3 pools of money. The trust money that the trustees manage, the operating budget that we manage, and they have a fund called the Heritage Fund that they manage. It's the only commission that's allowed to accumulate money and carry it over from year to year. In the wording, in the meeting minutes, it said trust fund, which is the incorrect fund. They want to go to the Heritage Fund that they manage. We keep control of it, Treasurer does, but they manage it. They spend the money. That's why we want to clarify that. Okay, then we can jump up to voting booths. The voting booths that we have are pretty tough condition. We really don't have sufficient number for the number of registered voters in town, and it's only going to go up. Karen has done a lot of research with fellow town clerks as to what they have used and what they like and what the Secretary of State authorizes for us to use. And they've authorized 2 types, the ones we have now and pods, very, very compact pods that easy to store, easy to set up. It's in the shape of a circle with 4 voting booths attached. And a lot of towns use them. It's taken a field trip down to Farmington, take a look at them. People are delighted with them. Karen's got a couple of quotes for us, and it includes the booths, lights for the booths, and a curtain for the booth, and it comes to about $3,000. Yeah, $3,100.
I'll make a motion that we expend $3,173.22 to buy the 2-pod, 4 voting booth assemblies that are on the quote from Inclusion Solutions.
1 second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Karen, do you want to find out how we placed that order? There is some discussion that the primary may be in June this year. I don't know if you've seen that. My goal would be to try to have these in place before the national election, right?
Yeah.
Have it for the primary so that we get that behind us if we're going to have some issues. So we're ready to move on it. We made the motion. If you would find out what it takes to get them.
He's expecting my call tomorrow, so
And,
Good.
I'll talk to him.
just a reminder to Karen, I know we talked about this, but the building address says 2 Penny Road, so we have to fix that.
It's all updated, yeah.
Very
Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out.
Okay, that's done. We have meeting minutes from the March 5th. And both public and non-public.
I'll make a motion to accept the March 5th meeting minutes for public and non-public sessions as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye?
Aye. So we have to sign a copy.
Yep.
And we have to give Leah the non-public. Who's going to have the master copy? I'll start it. And that goes to Leah. They both go to Leah. Okay, so let's go through some boards and committees. Great.
Yes, now that the budget is passed, I have Joanne is going to have you sign a check tonight. I have the contract for the chair to sign for the conservation of our last 2 books that cover 1862 to 1892, I think it is. So at the end of the meeting, I'll come up and get Rich's signature. The total for those 2 books is $10,570. That includes the digitalization, and we're sending them $3,600, I think it is, which is 1/3 of the, as a deposit, which is required.
Okay. Anything else? Chris?
Okay. Got Moose Mountain Bridge quotes. I only got 1 copy, so I can share it or make copies, but there's 2 options. One of them is minimal, very minimal work, and it's $14,000 to $16,000.
What kind of work is that? Where they?
It's all spelled out here, but it's it's handwork, getting anything that's under the abutments out and pumping in grout, so that it would shore that up. The second option is $45,000 to $50,000, and that's a little bit more involved. Some application of shotcrete, fixing a crack, which is noted in the bridge report.
Crack, and what's the crack in?
There's a crack in one of the abutments.
Oh, okay, it's not the surface.
No. So
Well,
I don't think we need to make a decision tonight. It's been 20 years. But
at least.
it's just some information and somebody that's willing to do it, and they got back to me with a quote, which is a first, so.
So the question is, they came up after the town meeting was, and then they didn't know you were doing this, but whatever we do we want to play it by the state first? So that we tell them, this is what we're going to do. Does this get it off the red list if we do this correctly?
Yeah, we can do that, can get the inspector or bridge engineer out here and go over the proposal, if that's what you want to do. I mean, that makes sense to me, to make sure that it's something that they are.
Yeah, not after the fact, right?
Right.
Yeah, I agree, you don't wanna spend the money and then say it's still on the run list, it's not.
Yeah.
I think this is great. If you would ask, if you would ask the inspector to come out, go see which one he recommends, and then we can make a decision. Maybe we can get something done this August when the water's gone.
Yeah.
If the water's gone.
Yeah, I think you want to keep that, you can keep that.
Your only copy, you said?
No, I can make another one, but I just only brought one with me.
Oh, all right. I do want to take an early copy.
No.
We got.
No, it's in an email, I can get more. But
That's
so-
excellent.
All right, so that's the bridge. I would encourage you all to read it and see what it says. Paving and chip sealing. We took a look at all of took a look at one area of town, Stoneham Road, Garney Road, and Clark Road. We just paved Garney Road, and it was an idea of chip sealing it and shimming the last section that we didn't pave. That's on there. There's also a quote on here to overlay the section of Pleasant Valley Road that we did last year. Because we did it late in the fall, and what we had done before was a shim and an overlay on all the other places. And they really only just shimmed it up to seal it up for the winter. The town of Wolfboro is going to pave the entire length of Pleasant Valley Road, and assuming that they accept doing that, we could continue on, so. And that's on this, so.
I'd like you to talk to the camera, really. We just did Stoneham, we just did Garney, and you're
We
talking about.
didn't do anything on Stoneham Road. The things I put here on for Stoneham Road
Yes.
would be overlaying stuff that was done 14 years ago. From the Wolfboro town line down, that's about 14 years.
Oh, yeah.
Is that old?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know for sure, but it's around
Yeah,
that.
it's been, yeah.
There's another section between Garney Road and the Wakefield line that is pretty bad. That's the same thing. It's only base material, so it should have been overlaid, shortly after it was paved, but it never was.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is, what you're proposing is we take those rather new paving jobs and seal them with this.
Well, we need to make a decision based on these numbers. This is everything we looked at. I just took those areas because they are in need and they're still in reasonably good shape, but if we go much longer, they're going to be in really bad shape. So I got numbers on overlaying them or shimming them as needed to get the road in shape, and then numbers on chip sealing those same things. So if you can take a look at it, but there's almost $500,000 to do those things. But so we need to pick a few projects.
$500,000 for those roads.
Yeah. So I'll leave that with you to take a look at.
Go ahead,
Just a question in your opinion, what is the higher priority of those?
For me, I would say Stone Road because it needs the most work.
You're talking both ends, the whole thing?
I think the entire thing, because it's in 4 or 5 different segments that's been done. And to shim and overlay those sections is about $100,000. And I don't have, one of the chip sealing there is the 3rd page, and that would tell you the chip sealing for that too, which is a lot.
The one was 70,000 or something like
Yeah.
that?
Okay.
I mean, that was the whole point of the maintenance. And I only did it like this just so we could look and see what it actually costs to do the bulk of this. And if you notice on the paving, it went up about $3 a ton from last year to put it in place. Like we talked about before, it's gonna go up every year.
Yeah.
Highly doubtful it's gonna go down.
No, it's an oil product, so
Yeah.
as the price of oil goes up, so does,
Everything that puts it down and mixes it runs on oil too. So
yeah, exactly. It's not just the product itself.
it's
it's-
super energy dependent.
So we, okay, I guess I can read this.
It's pretty simple, it's just, I obviously can make this decision for everyone, but I just want to make it plain how much it, right now, what it costs to do those jobs. And even if we only did Stone Road, I think it's worth it to do that because there are two sections that are extremely bad, where it was just base asphalt and it was never overlaid, and the road was starting to come apart.
If we do Stone Road, it's $200,000. Just for the Stone Road, that's the budget.
But that's for the overlay and the chip
That's
seal.
right, that's
so-
for both segments, I
Right.
did both pages.
Yeah.
And that's the budget, what we put in the budget for paving this year.
So that leaves anything on
Leaves anything else off the
Garney
roads.
Road and Clark Road out to future times.
Yeah.
And,
And that's fine.
right, because those are so recent,
Yeah.
they can survive another season without deteriorating significantly.
Yeah,
I don't want to put
and,
words in your mouth, but.
no, that's right, and I think, what I'm sort of coming to realize here is you're better off to take care of your better roads as best you can, and things that are really bad, if there's something that's like Holly Lane, the asphalt is kind of really falling apart. Maybe we gotta leave that, and that's gonna be a total reclaim at some point, because we don't wanna spend the money on that where it's already really poor shape, as opposed to taking care of a road that's a through road, that's number one, it gets heavy traffic, and it's already in reasonably good shape. So,
The other thing I put on the table is the hills on Tumbledown. That was paved within the past 5 years, and it takes a beating because it's on a grade, a steep grade. Is there anything we should do to save that?
That needs the exact same treatment, really. I think it should be at least shimmed and sealed, chip sealed. So that's another consideration. Do you take care of that now? You know, it's all things that we need to make a better decision.
Or I don't want to lose it.
Yeah,
I mean, we can lose some roads that we've lost, Holly Lane,
yeah.
but we just put money into those hills and we want to preserve the investment.
And actually, the chip sealing number I gave you last time for doing the bills on Comeau. So these are just in addition to those things. I just figured while the guy was out here, I'd have him take a look and put a number on it so we know moving forward. We know it's not going to go down, but we know what we got this year, what we do next year, that kind of thing. It's more for
I
planning.
don't know if you have the numbers in your head, I don't have them in front of me, but is there a trade-off between the entirety of Stoneham Road versus doing the hilly part of, is it Moose or Tumbledown?
Tumbledown.
Is there?
I just don't see working on Stoneham Road and not fixing the whole thing, because it's such varied. It goes from needing a lot of work to needing just the chip sealing, you know. It's just all over the place. And if you're gonna bring equipment over there and start working, it doesn't make sense to jump around
Okay.
in that case, you know.
Well, good answer.
And they, you know, they figure that into these prices too. If they gotta move all their equipment from one side of town, and, you know, it just costs you more money, so. Something we gotta think about.
Well, the next question is, when should we have a decision by? When do they,
I would say in the next month or so, we need to decide for sure. I would encourage you to go out and look and just see what you think too. I mean, I can give you my opinion, but it helps if you see what I'm seeing and
okay,
we
so
make that decision.
this consumes the paving line that we put in.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think we put 200 on the line.
No, I
One-
just-
150.
150.
150
150,
150 on the line and 150
for summer.
yeah.
for set aside, yeah.
And that's where I was gonna go next for summer is we have culverts that have to be addressed.
We can just do that really fast.
Yeah.
So replacing culverts.
Pardon me?
So you chew through that really fast doing culverts too.
I tried to ballpark what a culvert costs to replace. 20,000, 15,000
it was a-
total?
It depends on what we wind up doing.
It was a light winter, I mean, we still have $90,000 in winter maintenance.
That's good to point out. We only have November, December, and this weekend.
Yeah.
What's the bridge, the Moose Mountain Bridge?
How much money's in there?
Yeah,
That's in the trust fund, so I don't,
okay.
a town report would have it in.
We got about 100,000, Joanne.
Is it
Can't touch
the
it.
Moose Mountain? I think there's more than that.
Can't touch that a little bit.
We can touch it, we're agents to
The
explain.
agents to expend.
We're agents to explain, we can touch it if we have to.
Because one's there, is $60,000, and then the other one's,
Yeah,
50.
141 in one and
So
60
we could-
in the other.
So
200.
we could,
You can't switch.
Remember, one is the Moose Mountain Bridge,
Right,
yeah.
well,
and one is the other roads in town.
well, it's labeled Moose Mountain Capital Reserve 2, and one is labeled Moose Mountain Capital Reserve 1.
Yeah,
That was yours.
it is. And so so we have $150,000, and then this is
This one right here,
yeah.
it's either, the two options are $15,000 or $50,000.
Right, so we can have some,
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah, if this is gonna work, you could do this out of the trust and do
Yep.
the hills on, no, that's Moose Mountain.
Yeah, you can't.
You're right, you're right.
The trust is dedicated to the bridge, so that's a special meeting. So we can spend as much money on the bridge as we want.
but we can have a special meeting.
We could. We could.
That's $100,000, we could have roads,
We could.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so, and what I'm thinking about is Joanne pointed out,
Is it what?
we have 90,000 left in winter
Is-
maintenance.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, that is good.
I mean, we will have fall next year until we get to the new budget,
Yeah.
but there's 90,000 in the road agents extra, and then the winter maintenance supplies has 28,000.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So we're healthy there, but.
Okay.
Last thing is the liquid that we put on our dirt roads for the summer, keeps the dust down.
Yeah, it does.
The last time we got it was 2010. And we have capacity to store 4,500 gallons, which is a full load coming from wherever they come from, New York or whatever. And so this price is for a full 4,500 gallons. And I don't know how long it lasted. I know it's been empty since I started, but it's pretty expensive. So that is the total to fill the tanks.
Can't read it.
7,000.
7,000 for the material, 8,000 for the material.
Yeah, you can have up to. And I can find out what it costs to get last. I don't know how much you'd use really. I'm thinking probably maybe 1,000 gallons a year, maybe. So.
On the rain.
And who spread,
How's
do you
that?
spread it?
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, how does that apply?
It's supplied with a 500 gallon tank and a spray bar. So
And you
once
rent
you
that and tow it behind you?
no, we have it.
Oh,
We own one. It's one of the few things the town owns. But after you grade the road and do whatever you need to do to it, you run over it and it kind of seals it up. It doesn't really seal it up, but it keeps the dust down and creates less dust on the dirt roads mostly. So it just seemed like it seems like a lot of money, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
It's a lot of money. Ed,
About the Moose Mountain Bridge, it looks like a lot of the damage was caused by erosion over the years. Are we going to do anything about the stormwater mitigation around the bridge so we don't have the same thing happen again? Because all that water came off the road, ran down the side, and caused a lot of that issue.
It's the river itself causing the issue. So it's undermining the footings of the bridge itself.
Okay, so none of the damage was caused by water from the top? That
No.
ran down the side?
I don't think so. There are if you read the bridge report, there's some issues with The slope with the amount of riprap that's placed on the slope. Typically, a bridge like that will have a wing wall, so concrete that comes out to direct the water in. It has none of those things. So in order to address all of that, the budget number would be much higher. So if you wanted to use that money to address all of those things, it would definitely be a higher number. But just in terms of trying to get the bridge off the red list, I think that's the one thing that's put it on the list, is the scouring underneath the footings. I should have brought a copy of the latest assessment, but it was
23?
Yeah, but it's been on there since 2008 or 6.
It's been a while.
And it went from everything was pretty good until I don't know what happened, but it just all of a sudden, that number went low on the abutments, what's been scoured from underneath. It does mention a crack in it. One of those proposals included epoxy filling the crack. So, but overall, the bridge really is in pretty good shape other than the undermining.
So if we get it off the red list bridge, are we going to be able to insure it then?
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, Jim.
A quick update on the Heritage Commission. We have an event on Saturday. It's maple syrup production at 101. Ed's giving the talk. So I wanted people to be aware of that. And then the mini assessment for the town. The application went in on February 29th. I heard from Andrew on March 1st. They were going to be super busy with the event that they held this weekend in the entire state on Barnes. So I'm going to reach out to him tomorrow to try to get an update and also to get some possible dates for the guy to come from Effingham to do the mini assessment. So
Excellent.
I'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
While we're talking heritage, I have a letter from Mary Lou, who's out of town right now. And the commission met last week and voted to put in Bob Servasik's name in nomination for a 3-year term expiring in 2027, as well as Jan Ledbetter's name as a full member versus an alternate, and her term would expire in 2026. So the Heritage Commission is putting forth to the Board of Selectmen those 2 names in nomination.
When was Bob's term?
Bob's term would expire 2027, a 3-year term.
Okay.
So I will make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the Heritage Commission for both Bob and Jan Ledbetter.
And my only question is, when do the other members come up that does this distribute it?
This brings it up to the full 7 membership that we voted on last meeting.
7, and the term is a 3-year term, so 2 people come off every year?
I'm not exactly sure, I'd have to look at all of them.
That's what I'm asking.
We do have the roster and their expiration date, but this stays with the staggered format. I don't think there's any more than 2 in any given year. No, there have to be 3.
That's right.
Yeah,
There has to be 3 in 1 year,
Yeah.
that's right. All right, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Emily, if you'd like, you can have this letter from,
I have one.
you have one.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
is the application for the dirt roads, is it calcium chloride or magnesium chloride?
Oh, it's neither, it's...
It's calcium chloride, but mostly lignin,
Lignin.
which comes from trees.
From trees.
Okay, because Ospey switching to magnesium chloride because they thought the other stuff was too expensive, and I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a lignin based, but it does have a calcium chloride component to it. The way it was explained to me, to either draw moisture out of the road, or it can also be used as a de-icer in the winter. So you can mix it with your salt to make it melt down to 0 degrees, where currently salt is really only in the 20s, down to the 20s. It works good.
Thank you.
Karen, you have anything for us?
I do. First of all, we have a couple of meetings from the New Hampshire Municipal Association that we're going to make available to staff and the public if they're interested. On Wednesday, April 3rd, by Zoom. Wednesday, April 3rd, there's a all-day program from 9 to 4 for new municipal officials, just going over the tools and information that are helpful to keep your committees running. It'll include right to know law, town governance, budget, ethics, conflicts of interest, running meetings, just typical things needed to get started. So we will do it here with our screen and projector as a Zoom. Anyone's welcome to come. And I'll send out I'll work with Leah to send out a blurb to everybody again. And then on April 17th, Wednesday, April 17th, from 9 to 2:30, they're offering a right to know workshop, specifically related to public meetings and governmental records. So I'll also sign up for that one and make it available to everyone that day as a Zoom here. And when we register, we also do get a copy of the program that we'll be able to share on demand afterwards if anyone's interested, as well as any handouts they might have. I can make those available to people. The one on the 17th, the one on the 3rd is free. The one on the 17th, there's a $70 charge. So work with Joanne, get registered for that.
That'd be good.
I also want to mention, elections are over, so now it's dog time. And we're going to be real serious about this year. There has been a dog bite in town. If dogs aren't registered and there's a bite, people are liable for summons and charges, especially if the dog doesn't have its rabies vaccination up to date. So there are serious charges. We run it all by law. Everything has an RSA, but the dogs must be licensed by April 30th. So I worked with the vendor for our software, and we actually were able to modify some postcards and create postcards. I'm going to send reminders. We have a couple little quirks with it right now, but I'll be sending postcard reminders to everyone, which will be valuable also because if they return to me undelivered, then I'll know who's not in town. But pretty much I know who has a dog because the veterinarians in New Hampshire are required by law to send me a notification of rabies vaccinations. The one difficulty is when people come from another state. I don't always know, or if they purchase the dog in another state until they see a vet here. But we have about 250 dogs in town, so it's very important that we get them all done. So that'll be the focus, and people will be hearing a lot from me over the next month or so. I do also have about 3 low-cost rabies clinics where people, if they're having difficulty getting dogs into their veterinarians or the cost is prohibitive, I do have information on that. I'll share with Leah for the newsletter, but there are some low-cost clinics in the area. So we'll make sure everybody has that information. Thank you. What time did you say the training on the 17th was?
The 17th is 9 to 2:30.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you for doing such a good job on the election.
Thank you. It's a team effort. I do have to say, it's a huge team effort. Everyone really works hard together.
Thank you, team.
Yes,
Team.
thank the team.
Okay, committees.
I got one more thing too.
Yes,
The driveway or lack of driveway permit on Garney Road,
Yes.
is unsuccessful in getting in touch with the person. No way to leave a voicemail, they don't answer the phone. So I'm wondering if you could write them a letter.
That's the one on Garden.
Yep. It's, the information on the building permit is Charles Cotton,
Yep.
but the phone number, I don't know if it's him I'm reaching or not, but there's no way to leave a message. Voicemail box is full and no one answers, so. And it's, to my knowledge, there's no driveway permit, and it doesn't even look like really you can see where someone's driven in there, they're putting a foundation in to build a house, but there's no gravel, there's nothing, so.
And that's on the section that we just
Yep. Just pave.
paved this past summer.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the appropriate approach or not, but
Well, my thoughts are, we'll send the code enforcement officer out, pull the building permit until he gets the permits.
okay.
Stop the job.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him. You've tried.
Yeah.
I got the, have an item, people don't mind?
Are we, okay, I guess we're, go ahead.
We good? Okay. I got a quote from Martin's Flag Company on putting up flags to the telephone poles going from the junction of Lyford Road 109 at the south end of Lyford, as far as the town salt shed. It's roughly a dozen telephone poles. The quote from Martin's I got is a total of $878. It includes the flag, the pole, and the hardware to mount it on the utility poles. It includes shipping and all of the pertinent information, so. I'd like to talk to the board about doing something like that for Memorial Day this summer, possibly leaving them up until Veterans Day and then taking them down for the winter. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I think it's a patriotic gesture, and I think a number of people in town would certainly appreciate that.
Who would put them up? How would you get them up there?
Yeah, we would have to ask first about doing that.
That number, the number that you gave, that include installation, 800?
No.
Okay.
This
That's
is
your
878.
Okay.
We got the flags here, and we're going to do something with
Okay.
I think I'm as patriotic as the next person, but I just don't think we want to spend that money this year. I mean, if we wanted to do something small around the townhouse, but how many flags are you talking
it.
about?
Could be a dozen.
I'm just not watching that, not spending the money on that one. Yes, Mark?
I think money be better spent on the roads.
There's plenty of opportunities.
And put something on the townhouse or something, you know.
Plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
Ron, what you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit much. So we can do buntings for those, and so I don't know. That's like it's like $1,000. So I don't know.
You may want to talk to Wayne Robinson in Wakefield, because since they're gearing up to do their 250th celebration and whatnot, he's ordering a bunch of flags for all through Unity and Wakefield and whatnot. Maybe it would be worth seeing if you could combine to bring the price down.
And didn't Wakefield take donations for them?
I can believe that. See, I don't want to mention that.
I
That's
think they did.
if the public really likes it, right? The public. It's an ongoing cost too. They got to go up. They got to come down. They got to be stored. I mean, the initial outlay is just that. The initial outlay. I said one thing. I don't think we should do it.
All right, then I'll just let it drop. I don't see the support for doing it, so we'll move on.
Okay. As long as we're talking budget stuff, and we approved the budget at the town meeting, I'd like the treasurer to send a note, if you would, making sure you guys agreed with this, to the library and to the Meals on Wheels, I believe it was. We did not fully fund their requests for funding. You weren't here, maybe you were here, I don't remember. They wanted 18, it was 14, we settled on 16. The Meals on Wheels, they wanted 1,000, we settled on 500, because when you looked at the data they provided, we were paying them, I know it's only $500, but we were paying a disproportionate share of the Meals on Wheels. So I would like the treasurer to
Send them payment?
send them the payment for the year with a little note that this is the payment for the year. So it says, as notice, this is what you're going to get. And clears that air.
Sure, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. So would you put that in the manifest, if you haven't
I
already?
think
In the flags, you know, there are no lights, right?
no lights,
Where?
no lights on the flags. you mean?
Yeah, because it would be disrespectful to let it, you know, let it,
Fly in the dark.
yeah, so thank you.
I see what you're saying.
You have to put the light under the flag, you have to put the flags under the
Yes.
lights on the light pole,
Right.
which we don't have. All right, so let's see. Did we get all the committees? I think we have. I have another item, and I'd like to see if we can get some dates. We said we would invite the town to get input on what, in addition to this office, would look like. And my thoughts are, and let's talk about it, we have at least 3 sessions. One maybe in the morning, one in the evening, and one on Saturday. And ask people to come down, and we could walk through the building, show them what we have, and get their input on what they think the expansion should look like.
I think we should probably add a 4th one to that, and that would be for the chairs of the existing committees in town. And probably do them first, since they're the ones that are most active in using this facility. And then what we can do is, as the public comes through, just let them know that, well, this committee is talking about doing whatever.
Okay?
Or make one of the 3 just.
Yeah, everybody had probably one of those 3.
Just for the chairs of the committees in town.
Okay? You don't think they could come to one of the sessions?
Pardon?
You don't think, I'm sorry, you don't think they could come to one of the sessions if you want to have a...
They could, and they probably should, but I think we should listen to them first.
Okay.
Since they're the ones that are actively using the facility more than the general public.
I think that it's a great idea, but I think it would be better if we put the need, what we would like out there first and then have people look at it, like a plan or something. Because I don't think people from the public really know what we need. You know what I mean? If we had something and showed them and say, well, this is what we're thinking. But I don't know. I just think, you know, people who come in, they don't really know the configuration of how we function. Just a thought. I mean, what would they would come in and they would look around, but
We got a little feedback at the town meeting, one commented, so people do want to share something with us.
yeah, I'm sure they, go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, no, I think it would be great to have the public. I do know people come in here and the comment I always hear is, oh, this is a beautiful building. And they don't quite understand the needs. They just see it. We're fortunate to have this building, especially outside people who come in, they just can't believe what we have here. But I don't know that they can see past the cosmetics of it to understand some of the needs for the workers.
Is it big?
So it might be helpful to maybe indicate some of the difficulties or something, yeah.
Because people come in, they don't, you know, the offices aren't all occupied at the same time. You know what I mean?
So they don't see it.
So they don't see, they'll see an empty office if I'm not in there, or Leah, or, you know,
You don't see the tax collector.
they don't see us all scrambling on Monday, on
Oh,
Fridays.
Isn't
so-
involved,
so-
share in a chair.
Yeah. Just my thoughts.
Just a quick comment, the first thing that any designer or contractor that you award, you know, this project to is gonna ask, what do you need? What do you, so they're gonna need to have the information, but I agree, Joanne, I think to be helpful for the public, it would be good to at least see a list or have a sense of what it is for all the people who work here. What do you need? What are the challenges? And because otherwise, people don't know what it is they're supposed to be contributing.
So should maybe each, I don't know, person in each office or whatever, make kind of a wish list or a list of things that bother them? or-
So what I'm hearing, Rich, is that you're on the right track. We need to have public input, whether it's internally for the employees or from the general public or both. But we need to have something. And I think we should set up at least 3 opportunities for that. And it's gotta be, I'm assuming you're thinking near term?
Oh, yeah, because to be honest with you, I think the newsletter's going out. And part of the discussion we had at town meeting was what's the best way to communicate, right? So if we could get some dates into the newsletter, which goes out soon, and the next one won't be out till maybe the tax bills will see, we get a jump on it.
What are your plans for putting the newsletter out next?
I was hoping it'd be done by now. I'm trying.
I
I really am, I'm trying.
I
Not
understand.
going well, but
So
but as soon as I can. I'm hoping in the next week at most,
stay tuned.
maybe less.
So I think we should pick some dates.
Yes.
Yeah, and if we keep changing it, it's gonna be even.
Well, let's look at the calendar, and what we get for...
I think you got a good idea. We should ask all the employees, not just that department.
That's fine too.
All the employees, what are their issues? And then we have a list that we can at least talk to, right? So what can we meet with?
So today is the 19th, right? So
Yep.
we've got next week, and the last week of the month is pretty, I don't think there's any committee meetings. No, you have one at the end of this month, Karen?
The
For the
26th,
records
the
management?
Tuesday, yeah, last
on
Tuesday.
So we'll stay away from next Tuesday, but...
So let's say the newsletter can get out by,
The end of the month.
when do you think the newsletter? When should we schedule the first one? Don't make it too tight for you.
Give me a week.
She said
So that would be,
the 9th.
the 9th is 3 weeks.
That's all right.
You okay with that? All right.
April 9th.
Wait to have the newsletter to go out or to
Yeah.
have the meeting?
Have the newsletter out. You can-
Okay, yeah, I can have it
So
done.
this is an addition, this is one that we'll have to buy envelopes and stamps for, correct? And get a list from Bob on the mailing list.
Yep.
Right?
So like, not 19th,
I think we already got envelopes, but yeah.
19th, 20th?
That would be a Friday and a Saturday. I guess there's no reason not to have it bang, 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 yeah?
Yeah.
And would there be a way for people who are out of town to be able to provide email input?
No.
That's the thing. Because, you know, you're talking about communications,
Yeah.
and if people can't make it, you know, either emailing Karen or having some email address in some form or dropping something off, I think would be helpful, potentially.
So if you want to do 3, let's do the employees on the 18th. Do an evening session on the 19th in the morning on Saturday?
Yeah, but I wouldn't do Friday night. I
Okay.
do Thursday, Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday, Saturdays, all right?
Okay, so it'll be 17th, 18th, and 20th. So we'll do town employees on the 17th?
What time? What's a good time for people to get here?
What day of the week is
Probably,
that?
it's a short week, so why don't we say that?
Wait, are we sure Heritage is a meeting that day?
On the 17th?
During the day, during the day?
Oh, not-
It's a Zoom
What
meeting.
day of the week is this?
It's a Wednesday.
The Zoom meeting is that day.
That's the Zoom day,
Until
all right,
2:30.
bad day. Bad
Oh,
day.
yeah. okay.
And the 18th I picked for joint loss management. Not that I can't move that.
Right, so then we'll do the 25th, 26th, 27th.
Can we do that? 24th, 25th, and 27th, is that what you said?
Yeah.
24th, 25th, and 27th? Wednesday during the day?
Yeah.
Well, we need, that would be the town employees, that's the first one.
Yeah.
What day did you decide?
Then the 25th will be in the evening? What's a good time?
So the
7th?
24th, they're in the day, the 25th in the evening, the 27th.
7th at 10?
Yeah.
And here, watch this now, this is gonna make, tell me if I'm crazy. If someone has some input and they can't make one of the meetings, hook up with one of us, or does that leave it too open-ended? I mean, roll with it, input.
Yeah.
So would you say if you can't make it, you wanna share some input, Leah, see one of the selectmen?
Yeah.
And, you know, catch us, or just call us on the phone, any ideas?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. No problem with that.
So you have enough to put in a newsletter to get a word about? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would consider creating a committee to do all this. At least think about forming one, because this could be a very expensive, long-term process. And if you're going to spend that much money in the future, maybe you should have it so it's compartmentalized, where you have people that can come in and present and then combine that information, which would include the employees. And then when you have public hearings, that way you're getting input, you're doing that within a meeting. Because are you all going to show up at these public?
These aren't public hearings.
No, I know, I'm just saying, if you created like a building committee, so you could go through everything and get the input and have it be more of a publicly recorded thing, rather than just getting, just getting suggestions. I'm not saying do that now, I'm just saying that
Yeah, cool.
eventually I would move into that.
Okay, hear you. Some of us have experience with the schoolhouse. So, yeah, I appreciate what you're saying. All right, so that one's off my list. Anything else?
I can't think of anything else.
We have warrant articles for timber stuff. Let me see if I have anything here. Voting booths, building input. Go ahead, Joanne, let's do you next, and then we'll do the warrant articles.
Okay, I have one, came in late, it's for Diana, to mail certified tax lien notices for 2023 unpaid taxes, $122.79. And then, what's the other one? Give me a minute. Ready?
You ready?
Okay. Amazon, total $178.48 for supplies, office supplies, and a tape measure for conservation. American Security Alarm System for a service call, $211. Spectrum for the monthly bill of $94.98. I'm sorry.
Oh, Spectrum, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yep, yep.
charter, yeah.
Yep.
Sheriff Perry has to go to Concord for the checklist people, 100 miles, $67. Frank Frazier for inspector at the election, $128 for 8 hours.
There should be more than just one, yes?
No, everybody else volunteered.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, public.
The Gaffney Library, $16,000. Gov Connection, $236.74. Governor Wentworth, it's a cheap month, it's $23,921. Joanne Dahlbeer, I had to pay to have our 1099s transmitted because IRS still haven't given me my code. $72.93, but they are filed, so, and accepted. My conference, my annual conference is in Whitefield this time, and it's, yeah, I can't go there early in the morning, I mean, it's just too far. So, but the conference fee is $275, and I haven't received the cost for an extra night. I believe it's going to be about $170. But I will forfeit the mileage and my meals if you just pay for my conference. Sorry.
You mean comfort in a room, of course.
Yes.
We're going to be able to comfort in a room.
Yes, in the room, yes, and I'll pay for the mileage and the food. Kindle Construction, $815 and $3,397.50. Mitchell Municipal Group, $77 and $144. The $144 was for planning board and the $77 was selectmen. Spring workshop for Diana Peckham and Rose Zacher, $60 each, so it's $120, 60 each, yeah. And the down payment on the book for Craig, $3,600. And the cost of printing the annual report, R.C. Brayshaw, was $1,152.68. Staples, gosh, I didn't write down the amount, is it 37.77. Meals on Wheels, we're gonna give them $500. And White Mountain Oil and Propane, $342.21. That's it.
Total for that manifest is $51,371.29. I'll make a motion, we accept both manifests as read.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
You can start with the
I was going to not sign them right now.
Okay,
Because
I'm sorry.
we have some warrants. Let's get organized. What are we going to throw away? This is road stuff. This is road stuff. This is road stuff. This is throw away. This we don't need. This we don't need. We have 3 warrants we have to go through. I think this is it, Rich.
There you go, done deep enough.
So we have 3 timber warrants. This is for the state job.
Does it have a number on it?
Yes, and this is a little bit confusing because we have a bond that came in early. Remember, they paid some of it?
Yes, they paid it.
They owe us another $2,726 in addition to the $37 which they paid earlier.
Right.
So we're going to issue a warrant for $2726.10 to the logger. And that goes to the water. That's a unique one. We have a warrant for $29.75 for the job on Governor's Road. They resubmitted their paperwork. And it came to $29.75, and they cut some out.
Imagine that.
And
$29?
how many?
You said $29.75?
$2,975.44.
In addition to what they already paid.
This is the Governor's Road job down by,
Right,
this is the total payment.
that's all.
Yeah. The first one was the state cut. And
No,
that
but I
was,
thought the Governor's Road had already paid us some money on a previous warrant for the 30-acre lot, that big lot where the fence was.
yes, we rejected that report of cut.
I see.
It said, try again. And they tried again, and this is the
So
result.
they claim that they only made $29,000 on the timber that they took off of that lot.
In that range.
Oh,
Beautiful thing.
it's a beautiful thing. Clear cut,
Pardon me?
clear cut.
And we have a warrant for $160.40 for over on Barney Road. So I'll make a motion that we, authorize these warrants and pass them to the tax collector for recovery.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that is done. If we have time, I think we're done with everything except another.
I don't know if you have to do a motion in a second for that.
It wouldn't hurt.
All this for the board.
This is for the, the two books to recondition the two brooks. We have a contract here for $10,570. We talked about it at budget time. Make a motion that we move forward with it.
Just a question, we're only gonna fund a third of now, the 3,600?
That's right.
That's the deposit that's required by the agency.
The total is $10,570.
So when the next phase comes in, we don't have to make a motion, until it's already approved?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So is the motion for the 10,000 or for the 3,600?
The 10,
Okay.
the full amount.
Okay. If you folks have time, you want to talk roads?
Okay.
Yeah, what do you got in mind?
Well, here's some of the work that I think we were going to do that we were talking about Tumble Down Dig. We got flooding there. Every time we get a heavy rain, we can't get across the flood. So we've been talking about culverts, block culvert, something there that's going to cost 40, 50,000. Pick a number. We've got tree work on Clark Road that we have to tackle. We got the culverts to put in, and if we just take the 150 for paving off the table, we still don't have a lot of money to do the rest of the work. So I guess, do we want to try to take some of the money out of winter maintenance to get a different planning number? Let's go back. What we have in front of us.
Well, if you put, it's the 60,000 for summer maintenance. You put summer maintenance supplies and road paving, 60,000.
That's not for any of these projects that you've got an estimate.
I think it might have been for culverts, so did.
Oh, yeah, maybe culverts.
Yeah, so there should be a line item for 150,000 for
There is.
asphalt maintenance,
Yeah,
which is what I would consider the paving and the chip sealing. There's one, I would say one fairly major culvert project, and that's the one on Tumble Down Dig Road. I think we're talking about permitting and,
At the caboose.
yeah, depending on, I've been trying to calculate the size of the culvert that would be appropriate for it, and I think it bumps us into a different permitting level to get enough capacity there. So that's one of the things I'm working on currently is getting somebody out there to tell me more about the permitting process on this, because where it's actually a stream, it's not just drainage or runoff or anything like that. It's a stream, and it does drain a certain watershed, so you have to calculate the amount of acres that it drains and how fast it can drain, a number of things there. So I feel like the permitting process is probably going to cost some money. The culvert, some concrete head walls, something that looks decent and will contain the brook, I think is going to be fairly expensive. And I think in addition to that, we're going to raise the road up. In order to accommodate a larger pipe there, we need to raise the road up. So.
Oh, it sounds like maybe the goal for this year should be to get a plan and the permits underway.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it's out of the question to get it done. It's just a matter of how long the permitting process takes, and also the water. I mean, if we have another wet summer, you really can't, you're really struggling to do anything if the water's that high all summer, which it was this year. I mean, you would have had a hard time doing it at all. So
Maybe I'm not reading it right, but it sounds like there's not enough money in the budget to do the whole package, which would lead us to what Rich is saying is let's get the the plan and the permit
Yeah.
process done this year. And then if we have to fund it for next year, we'll fund it for next year.
Then we talk to town meeting next year.
I think it's still within the realm of possibility, but I don't know for sure just yet.
I don't know where we get the money from.
There's still 28,000 left in winter maintenance supplies, which could, I mean, that.
And the salt, that this coming year, we'll buy salt for next winter,
Sure.
unless we're full of salt and sand.
We actually are. That's not to say we'll buy some more next year, but we may not have to buy any in 2023. We may be at the end of what we need to buy for salt.
I hear what you're saying, but 28 is not that much.
No, I know.
And if we have to buy some this year to fill the shed, I don't wanna, I'm concerned about drawing it down that much.
If we currently, we budget, well, not budget, but I plan, for both salt supplies, you have to give them a number of loads or tons that you're gonna potentially purchase. And you're sort of obligated to buy at least half of that, otherwise they'll charge you for not taking as much as you wanted. And this year, I put in for 8 loads, 4 loads from each supplier, and we met our goal of at least getting half of that. And the shed is full. So, and it's about, I think is it about 3,000 a load?
I think it is.
Something like that. So next year, if for some reason we just had ice storm after ice storm after ice storm, the total budget for salt would be about $24,000.
So you're comfortable with drawing some of
Yeah,
that 28?
I think so. I mean, especially, I mean, we don't have, hopefully, too much more going in the spring here. And then we have October, November, December.
That's all, right, just through December.
Yeah.
Right, I understand.
So,
We have 90,000 left over in his winter maintenance, I mean, his contract line.
And that's got to cover October, November, December.
It does, yeah.
assuming that money is sort of flexible, as long as it's going into the roads somewhere, I think it's possible that that project could happen with this budget.
Well, I think, my opinion, this is where we're at. Let's proceed as Rich has suggested. Let's pay for it and get the permitting and planning done. And then let's sit down and look at what we think those costs are. We'll have a better idea what the costs really are, rather than saying, might be this, might be that. We'll have something a little bit more concrete, no pun intended, a little more concrete to rely on. And then we can look at the numbers and say,
Okay,
where do we want to go?
and jumping around a little, the money for Moose Mountain Bridge, we have in the trust fund, 140,000, I think you said,
Yeah.
something in that range.
Yeah.
So that will cover 50 or 12 or whatever. All right?
Yeah.
But that's just for the bridge, the way that was worded, that trust
Oh,
fund.
yeah, no,
So what's left is, and what bothers me, is I hate to lose the hills on Tumbledown. They're steep, and they're cracking, I think you mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be sealed in gravel, is that what you would do?
I think at this point, I would want to shim it and chip seal it. Just because it's only base material, and after talking with the paving contractor, they will chip seal over just the base binder material, but they're cautionary about doing that. There's not enough thickness there. Should have at least 4 inches, and from everything I can gather, that was either a 2-inch or 3-inch binder that was put over gravel. So another inch shim would get us to 4 inches, and then chip seal it.
Do you have a number on the Tumbledown?
We have a chip sealing number on Tumbledown, and that was from last fall that when we went around and looked at it. And I could extrapolate a number
yeah.
for the paving, but
Are you suggesting we should also shim before we
yeah.
chip seal?
The key with the chip sealing is that number that they give you there per square yard is based on a minimum of 20,000 square yards. You can get a lot less done, but the price goes up per square yard. it's actually noted on the quote. All the per square yard numbers are based on a minimum of 20,000.
So let me see if we can't figure this out. You said Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, it's not necessary, it's just if they're already there paving, just,
Trying to figure out how we can read this.
Pleasant Valley is pretty short money, it's only 26.
yeah.
And that's only on one printout. That's only on the, this says chip seal.
Yeah, there would be no chip sealing on Pleasant Valley at this point. It would just be, if the town of Wolfboro chooses to overlay their entire length of it, that would be the number to finish off and overlay what we shimmed last year.
Okay.
And what is our road maintenance line, 150?
For the
Paving.
yes.
You know,
Maybe what you should do is put it all in like a spreadsheet format, so you could look at and then make decisions.
what I'm getting confused at is how much money we have to spend.
Yeah.
If we take part of the 28, and we take part of the snow plowing, and we add that to summer maintenance, what do we get for a number? Take half of 28 is 14, take half of 90 is 45,
Yeah.
So we're talking 200, a little over 200.
and we have in the budget 150?
Yeah.
No, I'm including the 150. You got 150, plus you want to take half of 90 and half of 28.
Yeah, so that'd be
A little over 200.
Yeah, they go 200.
Okay, then we have to sum it all up. So then, I didn't include the paving line. I consumed the paving just through the paving. And then the other work.
That's what the 150 is, was paving, right?
The 150, we budgeted for 150 for paving.
Yeah.
Paving. That's right. But this comes in over 150.
Yes.
Comes in at 200. And then you add on Pleasant Valley, and then you maybe add on some other work, and you're approaching, I think, 275, 300, and I don't know how much money we have to spend.
That, the paving quote there is broken down by road because depending on, a few factors, I would pick one of those projects.
Yeah, and I picked, you said I picked Stone.
And it was 100,000 to pave Stoneham Road.
This is one right here.
Plus 61.
If we chip seal, but we don't have to chip seal it this year, we can wait 1 year and do it next year.
Okay.
I think we should do we should do a spreadsheet and then cause in funding and then we can do that.
So you can look at it all, picture.
But what we need to add to the spreadsheet that's not here would be the.
I'll do it, yeah.
Funding.
And then you have time to do that. All right, I'll give you all the Brian's going to try to put together a spreadsheet.
Okay.
And you have to look at where we maybe mine some money.
Yep.
At least we'll know what we're talking about for total expenditures.
Okay.
What do we want to use for money though to estimate Tumbledown? We don't really have anything.
I can come up with a number for the paving on Tumbledown. And we have a number for chip sealing on Tumbledown.
And the
But
color.
we'd also have to have the permitting and planning for
Yeah.
it as well.
Yeah, I'm in the process of the culvert at the
Okay,
moment.
so we got the paving in, the culvert, whatever. And we have Moose Mountain Bridge that will know that we're going 50, we might as well pay for, well, we got that's funded.
Yeah, I'd say I think it'll just muddy the water.
Yeah, that's funded.
I'll get it.
Yeah, Moose Mountain is self-sufficient with what we have funded and what we have.
That's right, that's exactly it. Take it off the table.
Yeah.
With the bridge there is more work to be done there other than that proposal. That was those were red list items there, but there are other items like the approaches to it. One of them is starting to fail. There's some erosion on the road surface itself. And there are things that are listed on the bridge inspection report like riprap, like it's not maintained properly. The slope from the road down to the river is not maintained properly. So you know, the fact that maybe that comes in under what we have in the trust for it, I think that number is going to be higher by the time we're done. You know, cleaning up, there's going to be some other, if you read through the proposal there, we have to build them an area for them to park in, for them to store their equipment in, to provide access to the site. So there's going to be some other money that's going to get spent on that project, other than what you see on that proposal.
And we have about 140 for that.
Yeah.
Rick, you can just use Rick's yards, you know.
There you go.
was thinking, I know-
Plus we got Craig too, so.
We don't,
It's a possibility, and I don't know for sure, but there may be some permitting needed for that bridge work too. And that's another question that I need in the process of getting answered. It's not, you know,
all right, so we're gonna talk about this again
Yeah.
in 2 weeks.
Next week, yeah.
So there's an agenda item for the next meeting already.
Anything else? And then we'll do is sign some checks.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we'll sign checks. Just look at that, sir. Craig gave us this, he's looking for this. Craig wants this.
Oh, by the way, Craig, thank you for letting us use your driveway to park the bridge crew on.
Yeah?
Oh, don't worry, I'll explain later.
Okay. We had feedback from butters, they walked my property over there already.
They do.
I didn't want to put it on the tape, but we did.
We're still on.
Don't get on my
Yeah,
property.
yeah, I remember that discussion, well, I remember talking about
So where do we sign this? I don't know if they still feel that way or not.
You're doing the NEDCC?
Yeah,
the vote?
Yeah,
You're
you're
doing the top line where it says March 20th.
owner of whether, or that's me?
That's you, chairman,
Is it Northeast Document
Conservation Center.
Conservation Center?
And the check's in here. I think I saw a check. Is there a check in here? I saw
No,
something.
it's
No,
being signed right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, that was
it. They
just,
just signed
Do
it.
you want to take that check to mail with the contract?
Yes, yeah, yeah, it doesn't do any good to send in the contract without the check.
well, that goes there. We'll find the check for you.
Yep.
These are all. Diane, that's just Diane,
That's the manifest, yeah. Did you sign the manifest?
maybe?
This is it, they've got to sign it as well.
Yep.
I'm already at 275, I've been over the cold call.
It's like I have some for the computer, some for emails.
Who's in fast in here? Is it cold out? No.
building without heat.
What's all this stuff? Oh. These are the bills that go with that?
Right,
Here the
I did
check's
that
from.
audit thing.
You sign it?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
So when is your party?
May 2nd, 3rd, I think. 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
Is that the big yellow hotel?
I guess so.
Don't drink the water.
No, that's right. Don't go in the hot tubs, don't drink the
Don't
water.
go in the hot tub, that's where that Legionnaire's disease
That's
is. Oh, I should be signing checks first. You're gonna get me a picture, right?
Right. Yes.
And I'll talk to the building inspector about having them stop work up there. I'll have him take your business card, because he should contact you.
fan these out for my friend here.
Thank you. Because you know I'll have trouble. We had, let me tell you, when we did the schoolhouse,
Yeah. Lot of problems.
Oh, yes.
That's why I thought if you give, too many,
oh,
is it because of input or people?
input.
Oh, everybody had an opinion, right?
Oh, we didn't even agree what we're gonna do with it. What are we gonna do with this?
Where did it come from?
Oh, we had the,
Where was it? It was, had to be moved.
It went down in the Moose Mountain Road.
we had the questionnaire and stuff with that.
And then we had circles in here.
Really?
Remember that?
Do we really want to do that again?
Well, we have to take input, that's for sure, but I don't think there's a lot of options, so let's get some input.
There was a building committee for this building of this structure. There's, as far as I can remember, there's only 2 of us that are still alive, myself and Dick Becker.
Oh,
Wow.
Everybody else is passed.
Were there any plans made to expand when they built it?
No.
but do we have plans, you said, right?
Well, we have the construction plans with electrical, plumbing, everything. Very detailed. Gary Ciccaroni's business is drawing plans, very detailed plans.
Yes, Gary Ciccaroni.
I mean, the building came out nice, it's good with the detail,
Wonderful building.
but there's some baggage.
Right.
Even the schoolhouse
It
came out
was the
nice.
building committee, I was thinking about it when you were talking about it earlier, because only the town clerk had an office, nobody had really any experience with which to put forth, in terms of a needs assessment, what they needed, what they wanted.
Where did Diana work from? Did she?
Home,
Home.
yeah.
And assessing?
That was kind of, that was Norman Royal and out of his house and out of his back pocket.
That's my house now.
That's your house now, right? We're still looking for records.
So that's who's walking around talking to my mother, I'm sure.
So I think it's a good idea to get the employees first, because they know what their problems are, or what the issues are. They appreciate working on top of each other.
Do we have the determinant monitors?
I think you signed them. I will check.
I know, I'm also over that.
Did he give you the document?
Thank you.
Did he give you the document?
Yeah, I have it. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're right, didn't get them. There's 2 on each one. You only get 1 on each one.
Oh, shit.
Just open them up, there's 1 in the back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So 16's good. maybe a little chunkier.
Okay.
Uh,
16 or 18?
I think you were doing 16, whatever your normal cut is.
18. Well, you always wanted 18.
Whatever works for you. I mean, the stove takes 24, but
Okay.
Rose has to drop them in. Okay, so this one
And
is,
and he has to.
okay, you got two more here. Oh, let's keep this on, you got two more here. And this one's okay? Oh, thank you.
These are the same three, I just didn't get all the paper.
Yeah, the same three.
Is there more than, more than 2 pages on them?
No, just two signatures on each one.
Then I probably missed the other one too.
I think Mark said you got it. I throw this away. I throw that away. You get out of here, we'll see you next time. You got homework.
Yes.
You owe me a picture.
Pictures and spreadsheet.
So does this one have 2?
I think that's cool. So, you check it.
7:49.